ask you to do something before we start. Just settle in, let your shoulders drop, let your breathing slow, and if you can, turn your lights down low. Not for atmosphere, though that helps, but because bright light can make him restless, and you'll understand who I mean soon enough. My name is Michael, and this story is mine whether I want it or not. I've told it only once before to a man who didn't believe me. Don't blame him. I barely believe it myself. But tonight, I'm speaking softly just for you, because quiet feels safer, and whispering keeps him away. 3 years ago, went into the Appalachian Mountains to get away from everything. Work was wearing me down, life was wearing me down, and I just needed silence. Real silence. Kind that presses against your skin and makes you feel small in a good way, or at least, that's what I thought I wanted. My grandfather had an old cabin up there, 1 room, creaky floorboards, a tin roof that pinged at night. It had no electricity, no water, just a kerosene lamp and the faint smell of old pine. He used to take me there as a kid. I remember feeling safe, protected, but the moment I walked up to that cabin as an adult, I felt something entirely different. Like the forest exhaled all at once and held the breath in its throat. Inside the door, carved deep into the wood, I found strange markings. Hundreds of little eyes scratched into the surface, rough, uneven, old. Too old to be something my grandfather played with out of boredom. I tried to ignore the unease crawling up my spine, but that first night, that silence, it wasn't peaceful. It was absolute. Not a single cricket, no owls, no wind. The mountains felt dead. Sometime in the early morning, I woke up to something breathing outside the wall, slow, wet breaths, like someone trying to inhale through a wound. I froze. My heart beat so loud I was sure the thing outside could hear it. Then the breathing stopped, and the silence afterward felt even heavier, like something out there was listening. The next day, behind a loose panel on the wall, I found one of my grandfather's journals. The early pages were ordinary, but near the end the writing changed. Jagged, rushed, terrified. He wrote things like, he watches in the quiet and never look directly at him, and he hates attention, no explanation. No name, just fear soaked into ink. I should have left then. I didn't. The evening I sat on the porch, telling myself I was being dramatic. The tree stood tall and still, wrapped in blue shadows. But something wasn't right. The shapes between the trunks didn't sway with the breeze. They didn't shift at all. One shadow, long and narrow, was darker than the others, too dark. A human shape where no human should be. I whispered hello, because I'm an idiot. The shadow jerked in this unnatural, glitching motion like it skipped a frame of reality, then slipped back into the woods. I locked the door as fast as I could. The following morning, I walked to the small general store a few miles down the road. I tried describing what I saw without sounding insane. The older woman behind the counter stopped mid-sentence and stared at me like she already knew. The man in the back of the store turned slowly, listening. It doesn't like being noticed. The woman whispered. The man added, some call it the silent watcher. I actually laughed. I thought they were messing with me, but their faces were stone cold. She handed me a small wooden charm carved with the same eye-like symbols from the cabin door. Hang it inside, and don't look at him long if you see him again. That should have terrified me. But I still stayed. The third night was the one that broke me. It started with tapping in the walls. Slow, rhythmic, deliberate. Then a whisper, a man's voice. But it wasn't outside. It was behind the wall. It whispered my name like it was trying to understand how to shape the sound. Miyiki. Drawn out, distorted, wrong. I held my breath, and then I heard it again, but this time it wasn't a word. It was breathing. My breathing, perfectly copied. Every inhale, every shaky exhale. It was learning me. Around 3 a.m. I heard fingers drag slowly across the window. I didn't move, couldn't move. Then a face pressed against the glass, only the top half. Pale skin stretched to smoothed out, no eyes. Just hollow sockets with something glistening, something moving inside. Like wet muscles shifting in the dark. It didn't blink, didn't breathe. It just listened. And when I whispered, "Go away," its face twitched and it whispered back, "Go, why?" Mocking me, understanding me, becoming something closer to me. I packed my bag before sunrise and ran. I felt it behind me the whole time. Every time I glanced back, it stood still in the trail, slightly closer than before. No motion, just a new position, like reality was skipping. At the general store, the old woman locked the door behind me. I told her everything, and when I finished, she went pale. He's chosen you, she said. Once he studies someone, he follows. They don't stop. I asked if he could follow me out of the mountains. Her silence was the answer. Left the Appalachians, moved across the country, changed everything about my life. For a while, it worked. Then I started hearing tapping in my apartment walls, whispering my breath back at me, stretching my name into that horrible echo. And sometimes, when my room is dark enough, I see a reflection in the black screen of my TV. A pale forehead, empty sockets, a stillness that doesn't belong to anything human. He never stopped studying me, and he hates loud places. He hates noise. He hates being seen. But he hates whispers the most, which is why I speak softly now. I share this quietly with you. If you hear tapping in your walls, or if you hear your name whispered back wrong, or if your reflection looks like it's holding still a little too long, don't acknowledge it. Don't whisper back. He might just be choosing you next. If you want me to keep telling these stories, if you want more late-night whispers and true encounters, let me know. Speak up. Your voice keeps me from being alone with him, and I don't want to be alone with him again.